A Congresswoman, Frederica Wilson, says she overheard President Trump recently saying to a bereaved widow that her husband must have known what he signed up for. The president has since taken to Twitter claiming the story was totally fabricated. Well, Ediz Tiyansan joins us from Washington, D.C. with more on this. Ediz, good to see you. Is this another case of foot and mouth syndrome? Give our viewers a bit of a play-by-play of what's happened here and what the White House is saying about it.
Well, certainly sounds like it, Kilmini. The accusation came earlier today from the Florida Congresswoman, Frederica Wilson. She said, or rather accused of the U.S. president for saying something to the fact that he knew what he was getting into when he signed up for. So this might not be the exact word-for-word quote that President used when he was talking on the phone with that grieving wife, but the Congresswoman suggests that he meant something along the lines of that phrase. And obviously here a lot of disappointment at the U.S. president if this statement was indeed made by himself. But reporters talking to President Trump later on, Trump completely denied these accusations. He said, on the contrary, he had a nice conversation with what he called a wonderful woman, and he blamed the Democrats for simply trying to fabricate these things. And he said he had proof. But later on at the White House briefing, when the spokesperson was asked about what proof the president had, Sanders said that they didn't actually have any recordings of this conversation, but that there were other people from the administration on that phone call at the time it was made, including the chief of staff. So this is quickly turning into a he said, she said kind of situation, but it has already been politicized, and that's what the White House is blaming the Democrats for. But the Democrats, particularly Frederica Wilson, is still standing behind what she said. Here's what she has to say.
Basically, he was saying that he was sorry that she had his sympathy, but he was hoping that even though her husband gave his life for this country, sarcastically he said, but you know, he must have known what he signed up for. Like, how could you say that to a grieving widow? I couldn't believe, and he said it more than once. So I said, this man has no feelings.
And in another conversation, Trump offered a grieving father $25,000. How is that shaping the conversation?
Well, Kilmini, when initially Washington Post reported on this story, they accused President Trump for making that promise but not following through. And when asked about that issue at that same White House briefing, spokesperson said that the check was being sent to that grieving father as of today. So it's really not looking that good for President Trump when he comes to his dealings with veterans, or rather fallen soldiers, and those golden families, as they're referred to here in the United States, the families of those fallen soldiers while serving in the U.S. Army. But this is a conversation that President Trump himself started last week when he said he was doing more than other presidents, his predecessors, when making phone calls and writing letters. And it seems that this is now a game by two sides. It's not just the Democrats, but also President Trump, who is now fallen into the trap of politicizing this whole issue that is very sensitive here in the United States.